Showing openness and accountability in policing is vital for public confidence in the policing structure. It is essential that the police are being effectively held to account in how they carry out their work, and that the bodies who scrutinise the work of the police do so in a transparent way. Organisations with oversight responsibilities need to balance their role to secure accountability of the police and to promote trust and understanding within the community. Some of the key figures in Oversight explain.
Policing in Northern Ireland was a contested space, and the establishment of the Oversight and accountability organisations grew out of a very clear desire to improve public confidence in policing. In doing so, it's hugely important that the accountability organisations, ourselves, the Policing Board, have open and transparency in the work that we do, and in a public demonstration that oversight is effective. Effective oversight is not just about legislation, although that's hugely important. It's not just about resources or buildings or protocols. It's also about a mindset. It's also about being able to demonstrate independence and how complaints are investigated and how that evidence is being used, and indeed how those investigations are publicly reported on. That is a struggle that all oversight organisations have on a daily basis, and it's important that we keep that focus as we move into the next 10 years.
Well, I think in the Northern Ireland context, we have world-class structures in terms of delivering accountability for policing. But it's really important that those structures are functioning correctly. And when they are, public confidence in policing rises. There is no doubt about that. And we're seeing at the minute some of the highest levels of public confidence across these islands. So it is really important. And the linkages and connections between delivering accountability, establishing police legitimacy, developing consensual policing, and of course adherence to equality and human rights principles are key to the overall development of policing in Northern Ireland, and I think that's delivering on Patton's vision for policing. Well, I think the annual reports that the Policing Board have delivered on how the police are delivering on their human rights obligations, I think are really important. I think these are very important health checks for police leadership because it tells them exactly how service is being delivered and how human rights and equality is being respected by their officers as they deliver the service to the public.
Since the human rights approach was launched in the Policing Board, 210 recommendations have been carried out by PSNI. But of course, and it is well embedded in police practices. However, we can't afford to be complacent. It's like any good practice. It has to be constantly monitored, and people have to be constantly reminded that it still exists. We don't stop that and move on to something else. So the board has a responsibility, indeed a statutory duty, to ensure that human rights is monitored on a regular basis through committees, through work, through aspects of bringing the police to talk about how they deal with it, and ensuring that it remains a top priority in police professional development.